Thanks for all your comments on the T-Bone video. Loads of people asked, what is T-Bone in for? I guess I should have mentioned that. T-Bone's criminal history goes back to 1986 was his first convictions. And he's presently doing time, 13 years. They alleged that he stole $20 off a countertop, and he's saying that he didn't do it and he's fighting that case. But we'll get back to that in a minute. So T-Bone was in the Marines. He got sent to South America. He was in the thick of some bloody, gory battle stuff where some of his fellow Marines got left at a certain place and got slaughtered. And T-Bone came back quite traumatized, and he ended up getting a job as a bodyguard. He was making quite a lot of money, got into the drug scene, and he started to invest into cocaine. And once you go down that path, you know, like I tell the kids in the schools, anything can happen to you, anything can come at you. So in T-Bone's case now, most of his crimes have revolved around hanging out with gangsters and being in the drug community and cocaine. And if you go back to 1986, he's done over 30 years. Some of his convictions are drug violations. He had a trafficking in stolen property. He had a robbery many years ago, and the present robbery charge that he's on. The robbery charge that he's on now is called a Class 4 felony. Class 1 felonies are the most serious. So it's not a serious felony to say someone took $20 off a countertop, but they gave him 13 years for it. And that's because of the racism, his criminal history, and all the other things that are wrong with the US justice system. So, T-Bone got released about 3 or 4 years ago before his present case. And I was on the phone every week with him, trying to get his life story down as a book, because I thought that would give him credibility to do talks in America. He wanted to go and do talks in schools, colleges and churches. But I knew I was in a race against time, because when these guys get out, they're institutionalized, they've not been given any help with their addiction issues, they're coming out of a place where it's just drug and gang infested mayhem, and the rules that apply in prison don't apply to society. So all they do is they give you $50 at the gate when you're leaving and say, have a nice day now. And that's what happened in T-Bone's case. Unfortunately, T-Bone broke weak. He did go back to drugs, and that opened the door then for the cops to put him back inside. But what they did was just downright dirty. They charged him with a bunch of crimes that he hadn't committed. They SWAT team raided his house, his wife, his kids. They grabbed a neighbour, put a gun to her head. They were like, how do you know this guy? How do you know this guy? It was full force, because he's considered so dangerous, because he's so big, and because he's been in the Marines, and because of his criminal history. So after the SWAT team raid, they charged a bunch of stuff on him. Now there's a theory that if you charge someone with a load of things, even if they've not done them, if you throw enough mud at them, some of that mud is going to stick. And they tried to bury T-Bone alive by saying that he'd done a robbery, and if he went to trial and lost on this robbery charge, he was going to get 200 years. Now T-Bone prayed, and he decided he was going to take it to trial and not sign a plea bargain. Now for a black man to take something to trial in the racist Arizona justice system and win is almost unheard of. But he prayed and prayed, and he went in court, and he took it to trial, and his lawyer got up and he said to the policeman, okay, you're saying T-Bone did this robbery, and there was a camera where you said he did the robbery. Can you please show us the video of him doing the robbery? And the policeman said, we didn't have time to get the video. And there was one woman, they had one witness who said he'd done the robbery, and they said to the policeman on the stand, you know your witness is a liar, she lies on the stand. And they said, yeah, we know she tells lies. So, no case. The jury found him innocent of that charge. That was his most serious charge. And T-Bone thought he was going to get released. But if you've got criminal history and they can convict you of any one little charge, they can put you away forever. And in T-Bone's case, they said he stole $20 from a countertop in a shop. Yeah, just snatched $20 off a shop and walked out with it. Something he's saying he hadn't done. But it was his words against the police and one witness, and they convicted him of that, and the judge gave him 13 years. Yep. To keep the prison system growing, remember, every prisoner, it's $50,000 of taxpayers' money per year to the prison. The prison system needs constant people getting sentenced for long lengths, and the police go after the poorest people, the most vulnerable people, people who can't afford lawyers, people who can't fight the system back. So the system can just have all these people warehoused, and they can make all this money off the taxpayers off the back of it. It's just a shakedown on the taxpayers. And the racism in it as well. The average arrest when I was in prison was a black kid or a Mexican kid with a little bit of weed. So the racism is completely off the scale. So, I'm going to read a letter I've just got from T-Bone. He's been back inside now for several years. He's trying to get legal assistance. He hasn't got any money. And, you know, it's really sad. It's heartbreaking to get these letters from this guy. His heart's in the right place. You know, he helps young people, stops people from getting raped. And he says that's downright dirty and it's the worst thing anyone could do to anyone. But he's institutionalized, so next time he gets out, we've got to set something up for him. Something with structure, you know, some counselling, support, contact with his local church. He's got to have some good influences on his life, so next time he gets out, we can keep him away from drugs. Alright, I'm going to read you the letter I've just got from T-Bone. The Phoenix police fabricated the entire case against me. The police report written by the two detectives, they put in their police reports lies. How? By referring to an incident report that was not authored by the responding officer, who did not, I repeat, did not write a police report. If there was no report, then obviously there was no crime. So basically T-Bone's saying they're just making stuff up, making reports up, and just, you know, the police don't get any comeback off this. They've got nothing to lose by making a false report on someone and trying to get that person stitched up and sent away for prison for the rest of their lives. Every time T-Bone does 10 years, that's $500,000 worth of taxpayers' money to the prison. This is just a racket. Alright, they based their complaint on that incident report number, which has no police report with it, which means they lied because during the 911 call the operator asked, did he take anything? The response was no. Did he break anything? No. Did he threaten you? No. So they made up a so-called crime and I was found not guilty, but they used that as a pretext to arrest me and then charge me and proceeded by bringing this crap to a jury. My investigator was the one who broke this news to me, but I already knew it because I was told. Every lawyer had that there was no evidence, there was no police report written, so how could they go after me? How can they go after you? They just make stuff up. It's Alice in Wonderland justice in Arizona. They can do whatever they want because they never suffer any repercussions. They wanted to bury T-Bone alive, give him 200 year sentence. Scum. But now he has a lawyer who says she can get me a new trial. That's what's up, my brother, because these cops from ROP, Repeat Offender Program, are not real police. When guys get released from prison in Arizona, there are specially trained cops, Repeat Offender Program, who snoop around and follow these guys around and try and catch them doing something wrong, trip them up, get them back in prison, and then they get paid money to trip these guys back up and just help feed the system. Again, taxpayers are paying for all of this. And they just love going after black guys. Alright, here's T-Bone's letter again now. They do whatever they can to put people away and they don't care how they do it. They aren't real cops, Shaun. It's like they've been brainwashed to do evil. But yet they call themselves law officers and they do wrong purposefully. That's because the system is so corrupt. Everyone's making money off the back of arresting people. You know, they've just got motivated, just arrest the easiest people possible, low-level drug users. It's hard to catch a murderer. So since this war on drugs, the rate at which murders have been solved has gone down because the police are just running around arresting people for low-level drug offences. Not making excuses for dealers like me. Kids with weed should not be going to prison. Shaun, find someone to tell us who the real bad guys are here. People who swore to uphold the law, or those who didn't take an oath to hold the law above all else. In my eyes, wrong is wrong, and two wrongs don't make a right. They should lose their jobs and be publicly humiliated for being non-professional and corrupt. But that never ever happens, because in a court, jury will always believe the white cop who's supposedly upholding the laws of society versus big bad black T-Bone. Yep. My investigator says they just wanted me off the streets and they didn't care how they did it. In other words, they were looking to set me up and to take me away for the rest of my life. That's it. Every 10 years, $500,000 to the prison. That's nice fodder. Right. Things here are the same. The guys are trying to turn out a lot of guys, so prisoners are trying to rape a lot of guys or manipulate them into having sex. And it's not right. A lot of guys won't step up because of their need to be part of the culture and of being an outlaw or just being against the establishment or order of things. They're lost in a way of thinking that is hurting them as individuals and they don't know it or they don't care. What T-Bone's saying is that people won't step up like T-Bone steps up and helps these more vulnerable prisoners who other prisoners are trying to rape, because sometimes prisoners don't like that. They think that if you're weak, you're just easy prey and nobody should be standing up for you because it's survival of the fittest. And if they can't man up and protect themselves, then they're just going to get raped all day long, which is truly evil. And I think that what T-Bone is doing, helping these people, is a good thing, and mentoring them, young people to stay away from drugs and gangs as well. T-Bone says, please let as many people as you know what the Phoenix Police Department did to me, how they fabricated the report evidence against me. Shaun, they didn't even record any interview of anyone. They just coached a woman on what to say. Now, to create a crime, the police will get a witness. That witness will usually get paid, more taxpayers' money, or they'll get charges dropped because they're in trouble for something else. And they'll just tell the witness what to say against the person who's in court, like T-Bone. It's so common, it's called testifying. You just get coached on what to say and you get a reward at the end of the day. No jail time for you, you help the police, blah blah blah. It's insane. Alright, let's see. That's how this coaching the woman and what they did is how the racist cops did it in the 60s and 70s. Well, they've always done that type of behaviour. They've always used false testimony, manufactured evidence and coerced statements and just plain old illegal tactics to put people in prison. A cop just got found not guilty of second-degree murder when he killed an unarmed white man who was on the floor. This is in Arizona. They showed it because his body cam was on, and many people at war have more control than that cop. Oh, what he's saying is that soldiers with guns, because you know T-Bone was in the military, have more self-control than this cop who shot this white man. The day's coming when all of us will have to give account for our behaviour. Please let the world know what these people have done to me. T-Bone, each one teach one, strength and honour, steel embrace. So there you have it from T-Bone. If you've got any more questions about T-Bone, post them in the comment section. Appreciate all the new subs to my YouTube channel. It was only last month I was at 10,000, now I'm at 13,000. It's just going like crazy right now, it's shooting up. And I will be going up north towards the end of this month, doing some talks and spending more time with Wild Man. I'll be getting some more videos out about Wild Man on YouTube. He's really appreciating reading all you guys' comments on YouTube, and he has gone on YouTube. on the videos and try to just do little responses to each comment as it's coming in. So we really appreciate you engaging with Wildman. He's new to YouTube, he is on Facebook, not on social media that much, so I'm still schooling him a bit on YouTube, and hopefully we're going to get him on True Geordie Wolf of Wall Street podcast number 3. So got that to look forward to in the new year. And cheers from London for now. I'll try and get a video up soon. Take care out there.